time we look up at the sky, the moon is the most prominent object in the night sky. In reality, many of us still wonder how exactly the moon was created. What mysteries still exist there that remain unanswered to this day? R404 will explore this mysterious planet with you right after this. For over a century, 4 main hypotheses have been proposed to explain the origin of the moon. First, the moon was a part of the Earth, and later separated from it. Monday, the moon was formed at the same time as the Earth, emerging from the same primordial nebula as the Earth. Third, while wandering through the universe, the moon was attracted and captured into Earth's orbit. And the fourth hypothesis suggests that the moon is a satellite created by an ancient civilization. This is perhaps the most astonishing thing of all. However, it can explain the unusual features currently present on the moon. Because a satellite made by intelligent beings would not resemble celestial bodies formed randomly billions of years ago. In reality, many scientists have accepted that this hypothesis holds no less value than other hypotheses. This hypothesis was first proposed in the 1960s by 2 Russian scientists, Mizane Vashin and Alexander Sabakov. It was then confirmed by investigators and interested colleagues. They have listed the 7 strangest characteristics of the moon. So what are those characteristics? Let's move on to the next part right after this. In the solar system, many planets also have their own moons. Smaller planets like Mercury and Venus do not have moons because their gravitational pull is too weak. Only Earth, despite being of comparable size, carries a moon that is a quarter of its own size. That data suggests the Earth's diameter is 12,742 kilometers. The diameter of the moon is 3,474 kilometers, which is about 27% of the Earth's diameter. The satellites of other planets have never exceeded 5% of the mass of their parent planet. Compare it to major planets like Jupiter or Saturn, which have relatively small satellites. For example, Jupiter's moon is approximately 1/80th the size of the planet. It seems our moon is a special and rare presence in the universe. In the solar system, the moon occupies a rather unique position. However, that does not mean it has no relation to the sun. If the diameter of the moon is 395 times the diameter of the sun, then the moon is 395 times closer to Earth than the sun. This ratio will create an interesting effect. Are you standing on Earth looking up at the sky, wondering if the moon and the sun appear to be the same size? This strange coincidence is most evident during a total solar eclipse, when the moon perfectly obscures the sun. This is a phenomenon that astronomers consider extremely unusual. At least, there is no comparable phenomenon for planets in other solar systems. Is the moon a hollow spaceship placed into Earth's orbit from distant prehistory? Our mysterious spaceship moon. The hypothesis is that this trend will be explored further by Euro 404 at the end of the video. Returning to the surface of the moon, it is a strange thing that with the lunar craters, they are very shallow. The deepest hole, like Gagarin crater, is only about 4 miles deep, but its diameter reaches up to 186 miles. Scientists estimate that with a diameter of 186 miles, its typical depth would have to be up to several hundred miles. Do you think there exists a very hard material structure deep beneath the surface of the moon that even a drill cannot penetrate? Is this hard material structure a metal shell? 2 scientists, Vassin and Sabakov, believe that the moon's crust may be made of a titanium framework. In reality, this has been confirmed. The lunar crust also contains a high amount of titanium. According to estimates by a group of Soviet researchers, this titanium layer is nearly 32 kilometers thick. Additionally, the lunar crater contains a large amount of lava. And within these lavas are rare metallic elements not commonly found on Earth, such as titanium, chromium, yttrium. To melt these metallic elements will require temperatures from 2000 to 3000 degrees Celsius or higher. Yet in reality, the moon is a cold and desolate celestial body. There have been no active volcanoes for at least 3 billion years. The question that continues to arise here is why there are so many molten metal elements on the moon at such high temperatures. Even if you still have doubts about these strange characteristics, you cannot deny that the moon has a positive effect on the Earth. According to NASA, the moon helps stabilize the Earth's wobble, creating more stable seasons. Explained by scientist Eric Christen and NASA's distance education specialist, Adia. The moon adds pulling force to the Earth's rotation through tides, both ocean tides and solid Earth tides. This additional pulling force helps stabilize the rotation process. It also gradually slows down the Earth's rotation, thereby lengthening the daytime on Earth. Compared to satellites of other planets, this feature of the moon can be said to be unique. If you have followed R404 long enough, you probably still remember that we once mentioned the phenomenon of the Earth always seeing only one side of the moon in the profit section, through a viewer's question. And you might not expect that on the far side of the moon, we have discovered many rugged terrains. While the side facing the Earth is quite flat, scientists have not yet explained the reason for this difference. In theory, if the moon is a natural object in the universe over such a long existence, the chance of being hit by meteorites on all sides should be equal. So why is there such a huge difference between the two sides? What we can most easily see is that the moon illuminates the night sky with borrowed light, specifically from the sun, so it would need a smooth surface to reflect light better. Furthermore, not only natural collisions with meteorites, in 1969 NASA created an impact on the lunar surface, so that the astronauts of the Apollo 12 spacecraft could measure the seismic rays emitted. The results obtained surprised us. The moon rang for more than 55 minutes. The vibrations starting small and gradually increasing, maintaining maximum intensity for about 8 minutes. Then the wave amplitude weakened and disappeared, but the reverberation lasted for a long time. With this result, you can imagine it like striking a church bell, waves from the seismic center spreading across the outer surface, instead of going inward, similar to what happens with a hollow metal sphere. This is also the view of the seismic research supervisor, Al Rice. And it is also an answer to the question about the very hard material structure beneath the lunar surface, mentioned earlier. America. Researcher and nuclear engineer William Bryan wrote that evidence from the Apollo seismic experiments shows that the moon is hollow and relatively rigid. Do you still remember the hypothesis that the moon is a spaceship placed into Earth's orbit from ancient times? Even Don Wilson was stunned to learn the shocking hypothesis about the moon's true nature from Russian scientists. Naturally, he rejected it. However, as scientific information from the Apollo explorations provided more and more data for this hypothesis, Don Wilson was forced to accept it. Could it be that at some period in Earth's billions of years of history, there was a civilization truly advanced enough to create such a colossal engineering feat? In reality, it's hard for us to know, because the traces of a civilization would hardly remain after just 10,000 years. But we do know that ancient civilizations had advanced levels surpassing ours today. If the moon is indeed artificial, was it created simply to illuminate the night sky, or are there other design intentions? Its magnetic field influences tides on Earth, women's menstrual cycles, and some even believe that the full moon can affect people's mental states. For a long time, the moon has become an indispensable part of life on Earth. It's hard to imagine what the world would be like without it. Do you think that humanity in a distant era once knew an era without the moon? Let's discuss and analyze in the comments section below. For now, goodbye and see you in the next videos of R404. Welcome to the profit section. Let's end the old week with an extremely interesting question. The question from you, Hi Bui, is as follows. Hey, I'm wondering, black holes suck in everything, even light. So how do scientists manage to photograph a black hole? While black holes cannot be seen with the naked eye, extremely hot matter swirling into the center forms a ring of light around it, revealing the black hole's mouth through its silhouette. This boundary is called the event horizon. The research team worked for many years to capture the silhouette of a black hole, often referred to as the black hole shadow. Then, they had to synthesize a massive amount of data from 8 observatories worldwide to produce the precious image of the black hole. This is the first time humans have photographed a black hole in the universe. That concludes today's video. Thank you, Hi Bui and everyone. Goodbye and see you in the next videos.